On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks get a win against the Utah Jazz. Jaden Hardy, Josh Green step up in a big way. What does that mean for the Mavericks going forward? And then, after the Kyrie Irving trade, what other moves can the Dallas Mavericks make? We'll talk about some targets and more on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks.
Mavericks, NBA champions. Bang! It's good! And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
That's right.
Loyalty never fades away.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Thanks for being part of the show and making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. We are free and available on all podcast platforms, including YouTube, where you can watch us. Let it ride. Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, 29 points each. Best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day and comment anything below. Let us know what's one thing you loved from Josh Green, Jaden Hardy against the Jazz in this game. Joining me, as always, my co-host, writer, and contributor at Mavs.com, the Hardy Hustle, the one more thing king. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Let's hit it off the top. The Hardy Party.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Party, let's go party.
That's good. All right. That's good. Let's go, baby. The Hardy Party.
I think this is like 3 minutes long.
I can't do this for 3 minutes.
We gotta wait for the laugh.
All right.
That's how long it is. Okay, it's not 3 minutes. It's like a minute.
What if right after the game, Kyrie just tweeted Hardy Party?
Ooh, he could still do it. He tweets at like 2 a.m. He tweeted like hello Mavs at like 2 a.m. Eastern time the other day.
Yeah, he did.
But now we know he's in Dallas. So today's episode, we'll talk about the Mavs win against the Jazz, what we see from the young guys. We'll talk about some Kyrie Irving trade. The trade officially happened on Monday, so we know the full details of everything. We know a couple things that could have changed the deal but didn't. And then we'll talk about some other moves the Mavericks can make. Who are some other targets the Mavericks should be looking at? Because trade deadline's not done, guys. Thursday. Mavs will still probably make another move, we think.
Or two.
Let's start with this, though. The Dallas Mavericks get the win, 124 to 111. Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, 29 points each. Let's just go through the whole thing. Josh Green, 29 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 0 turnovers. He handled the ball a lot. 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Hit all 6 of his free throws. Plus 39 in the game.
Say, give me that plus minus.
Plus 39 in the game.
I'm tired as hell.
He was incredible in this game. He really handled a lot for the Dallas Mavericks. No Luka Doncic, no Kyrie Irving. Obviously, Dinwiddie's gone. Dorian Finney-Smith is gone. Maxi's still out. Davis is out, I guess. And you look at
no Christian Wood.
No, Christian Wood was back, but he didn't start.
Good,
Josh Green carried a lot in this game. What did you see from Josh Green?
Oh my gosh! I mean, arguably his best performance in Dallas, right? I mean, 29 points, career high for him. He was one of the smaller storylines of this deal. For Kyrie that. It was yesterday? Gosh, was it yesterday? The Kyrie trade went down? It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
We did 2 pods on it, so I'm getting kind of confused. But, one of the things we said was, hey, how long until, the intro presser that, the Mavs are saying, hey, Dorian's leaving, but we think Josh is ready for the next step. And what a first game to show that, right? Not that he had to go out and show everything tonight, but for everybody, hold on. Do you hear that phone ringing? I think that's the phone of all the other GMs in the league that's calling right now saying, hey, so are you sure Josh Green's off the table? What about that Hardy kid?
Wait, they're saying
Explain yourself.
Sorry. Because, honestly, what a night. I know nobody wants to think about it, but it's like the two young guys, the two biggest trade pieces for Dallas, or the two building blocks in Dallas. That's the younger guys. However you want to view that, they had a monster night at the beginning of trade deadline week. So, teams are calling and asking for him. It's just if Dallas is like, yeah, I think we want to just keep on building with our 2 young guys here.
I think with Josh Green, if you read the WFAA article, they got an interview with Mark Cuban as soon as Kyrie Irving arrived. And one of the quotes that's really stood out to me was, as unfortunate it is for Dorian to leave, the trade's really going to open a lot of minutes for Josh Green. We'll have the opportunity to put the ball in his hands more because he's been really good creating off the dribble, shooting the 3. Defensively, Green has been our best on-ball defender. I think part of the value in this is freeing up minutes for Josh. That's what Mark Cuban said about the trade to WFAA. And that is an incredible quote. And it's also an incredible timing for this game to happen that day when he says something. We know that this season, Mark Cuban has not said a lot of things that had really good timing, and as soon as he says the quote, something good happens to the Mavericks after it, right? I Pepperidge Farm remembers when Tim Hardaway Jr. was a free agency addition, or when the Mavs will be a lot better because of JaVale McGee, or many other things that has been said. So for that to happen on this day is incredible, and to see Josh Green do that, and to just the way that he scored too, he was dribble pull-ups, driving and scoring on guys like Walker Kessler and even Larry Markkinen that are 7-footers, doing some of this stuff. You're saying, who is this guy? He just looks different than a player that I'd seen in the last couple of years trying to see what Josh Green could be for this team. It's wild, and I wonder how much of it is just confidence that this team has given him, and how much of it is actual development from a year with Jason Kidd's staff. I think this staff prides himself on developing guys. You talked about the guys in Milwaukee a while, some of the guys with the Lakers, and Josh Green may be just the next spot in the development process of what the Coach Kidd's staff can do.
I mean, the MVP of the summer, right? I mean, that's what Michael Finley called him.
The summer of St. Jean, is that what?
The summer of St. Jean, baby. But he was coined the MVP of the summer for the Mavs, and I'm excited to see him play with Luka and Kyrie, and
me too.
Just be on the floor together, and it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a reason why. Hold on, got choked up in my throat for a second. I was like,
it's just so great seeing development, isn't it? You just see these guys grow up, and you just.
Josh Green, I didn't think you'd be this player.
Aussie.
I think there's a reason why Brooklyn pushed so hard to get Josh Green, right? We read about that, and they weren't trying to get some of the other players.
No.
But they wanted Josh Green, and you've seen why tonight. And if Dallas, unless it's some massive deal for another, bigger guy or something before the deadline, expect Josh to be on this team and to play a really vital role on this team moving forward with Kyrie and Luka.
They absolutely need him. And it was incredible to watch Josh Green in this game. He was great. Jaden Hardy was also great in this game. It was wild to see him step up. 29 points for him, including 14 points in the fourth quarter with 2 assists. He was the closer for the Mavericks in this game. 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. Jaden Hardy, I thought in this game was so great. He was doing the things that he wanted to do. And this is what you want to see from a guy like Jaden Hardy. Rookie year, we've talked about what his development's going to look like. But at the beginning of the season, we said what his development was going to look like. And it's so far gone the same path. He's going to start in the G League. He'll work his way into the lineup a little bit. Maybe the Mavs will make a move and then elevate him to some minutes. But he's going to have to work on some things to get better because this is a team that wants to win right now. And Jaden Hardy's not a player equipped to do that right now, to play the level of basketball that's needed in, imagine Jaden Hardy trying to play in those playoff series last year. It's just going to be really hard for him to try and play at that level. You have to be, that's why teams always want vets going into the, into the playoffs because they've been around, they know what it's like, they're battle tested and all that. But you want to see some flashes from these guys. You want to see, all right, our investment in a guy like Jaden Hardy is going to be worth it down the line. It may not be this year. We may not see him play 20 minutes a game in the playoffs or even 10 minutes a game in the playoffs this year. But to see him be tested a little bit, to show off, to show up, in a game and really take advantage in real minutes is something that you just really want to see from guys like this.
It's going to hit really hard. The Kyrie Irving, Jaden Hardy practice shot.
I'm ready.
Of Kyrie coaching him up over on the sidelines.
Let's go party.
I think Mavs Twitter might just melt down a little bit. But how old was Jaden Hardy? How old was Jaden Hardy when Kyrie hit the shot?
Oh my gosh. Just for my sake, I don't know if I want to look that up. Jaden Hardy was born in 2002.
Oh, so he was what?
He was 14.
My guy hadn't even started driving yet.
So he was in middle school. He was a future 2020, 2022 or 2021 draft pick.
Yeah, so Kyrie can coach him about
then.
stuff on the court.
You know how you say you traded for a middle schooler? Like somebody traded a 2026 second round pick, and that ended up being Jaden Hardy in 2016.
Oh my gosh. Track it all down. We made this trade, so that, whatever. All right, let's take a break.
I'm done. Coming up, let's talk about what we learned about the Kyrie Irving trade and what else can change for the Dallas Mavericks, and we'll talk about some other moves the Mavs can make and more coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about Built Bar. It's a protein bar. It tastes like a candy bar. If you're looking for a delicious treat, you don't want all the fat, don't want all the calories, you got to try Built Bar. Isaac Harris, you went to your local Sam's Club.
I did. Walked away with a box that was split in half churro puffs, half brownie batter puffs. They're in my pantry right now.
They have a special Valentine's Day box with two of our favorites.
Oh.
Brownie batter puffs and the double chocolate regular bars.
Ooh.
Really good bar if you want just the extra chocolate in there. Go check it out for Valentine's Day on the website. They're doing free shipping on all orders through Valentine's Day as well. So if you're not near a Walmart or a Sam's Club to go try some of these, go ahead and check the website, built.com. Again, they're incredible. They're good for you. I eat them all the time. I have them as a great snack to tide you over from meals. Go check it out. It's built.com. All right, Isaac Harris, thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. The NBA trade deadline is approaching, and Locked On has you covered. Thursday, February 9th, tune in to the Locked On NBA YouTube channel at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, to hear reaction from all the trades that will change the rest of the NBA season, hosted by me. I will be hosting it on Locked On NBA. We'll be bringing in a cycle of different hosts to talk about the deals that are coming down. We'll be reacting to them in real time. Subscribe to Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Isaac Harris. So we saw Kyrie Irving. Do you have anything else from the game, by the way?
No, I don't.
Sometimes you got one more thing. That's like your whole thing.
No, I was actually going to ask you. I was going to make a comment about the Kyrie stuff today because it was, we were basically on a Kyrie watch and just seeing like Twitter. I mean, all of the local news outlets. If you live overseas, you're not in Dallas and all that stuff. You don't follow local Dallas.
You saw him
media.
on Twitter though.
Yeah, I mean, the local, news outlets were at the airport. I mean, there's footage of Cuban's plane landing, in Dallas. Then there was the footage of, Kyrie and Nico and Markieff Morris and Michael Finley, walking into the practice facility and, the news station's like across the street, and Kyrie's like waving, nodding toward to him and stuff. And, it made me think, I mean, who is the last most popular Maverick like this that we've had?
Just Luka Doncic.
No, I'm just saying besides Luka, obviously, but it's outside of Luka. I mean, you're talking Dirk, and then outside of that, it's who's the most famous?
Yeah,
that you're doing a Kyrie Irving is landing in Dallas and walking into the facility. The American Airlines Center is going to be off the chains in that first home game, and kids and everything. I mean, he is a super popular. Yeah. He's very polarizing, but he has a ton of fans, and he's super popular too. So it's just wild to see. It's wild that it's still real. They put up some graphics on the game tonight, and it's just weird seeing Kyrie's name with the Mavs logo next to it.
Yeah, Bally Sports is doing it on the game tonight, and it totally threw me off every time.
So it's just still weird to compromise or comprehend that's there's another all-star here. It's not just Luka.
There was the official announcement that happened today. There's a couple things that made the announcement kind of delayed, but there was a little conspiracy theory that started because the Mavericks didn't officially name Kyrie's number. He had worn 11 for the Nets, and Tim Hardaway Jr. wears 11, so maybe they were waiting to ship Tim Hardaway Jr. out to do it, but he's going to wear number 2 now. We know that. The last player to wear number 2 was who?
Campazzo.
You just told me the other day, so I thought you'd Campazzo, the last player to wear number 2. But with Kyrie Irving is now in town, and so it seems like he's going to play on Wednesday since now the trade has gone through.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bummer because I think Luka's not going to be playing that Clippers game, so we don't get to see them two play together. But yeah, I mean, he'll probably fly out. Him and Markieff Morris both will probably fly out to meet with the team in LA there. But yeah, number 2, like you said, and yeah, there you go.
So good. Professional podcaster, Isaac Harris.
Professional podcaster.
Correct. There you go. The trade could have been changed today. There was some delay in the actual trade going down, which is why it wasn't official until today. The Brooklyn Nets were trying to add a third team and trying to reroute Spencer Dinwiddie to Toronto to get Fred VanVleet. What did you think about that move for Brooklyn? And that's an interesting one because he could be a free agent this summer.
Yeah, I mean, they're just wanting to put the best win now roster around KD in Brooklyn. And so I was a little intrigued. I think, that was the biggest holdup of the deal becoming official is they were trying to do that. And then, that obviously didn't happen. And now that they can still make a trade between those two teams as far as Dinwiddie and VanVleet and stuff. But it was really weird seeing Dorian in a Photoshop Nets jersey.
It'll be real soon, and I'm not ready for it. At least the Mavericks don't have to play the Nets yet, right?
Oh, and him guarding Luka?
That'd be fun, but he probably would.
I tweeted this earlier, but obviously Dorian's in New York. He's going to be in New York now. Brunson's in New York. They're going to hang out. That first picture is just going to sting, right? Like the picture of both of them eating somewhere.
Why'd you have to do that to me? I wasn't ready for that. Next you're going to be talking about where's Dorian's horse going to go? Where's Peanut going to go, right? Like that's what you talk about next, and I'm not ready to talk about that either. My heart's just not ready for it. I'm not.
We had some other Mavs news a little bit today. One of those guys played in the game, in the Utah game. He kind of played. Christian Wood. The fact that they kind of doubled down a little bit. Shams did a video and talked about the extension stuff with him. Stein. I listened to Stein and Chris Haynes on their podcast, which go subscribe to their podcast, by the way, the new one. Hashtag This League Uncut. And
title's not great, but the show is great.
Yeah, show's great. And he talked about Christian Wood and the Clippers being really interested in him and all of that. So definitely be watching that. And it was just like a weird game tonight of he came back from injury. He only played 18 minutes, didn't play really well at all.
He's coming back from
speak more on that.
So that was interesting, right? So I think if we're going to take something else from the game, it connects to trade season. Christian Wood is being shopped. I don't think the Mavericks are going to keep him past the deadline, right? Like we've talked about this over and over again. They have, according to Shams Charania, they've officially offered him a 2-year extension. We knew that they were interested in offering
Shams didn't say 2-year extension. Shams said an extension. And so then everybody's like...
He said a shorter extension.
Okay.
So he said a shorter extension, which we are then taking the leap to say it's the 2 years that we've heard already. Like we've heard reported already. Hold on. I got it. It's all rumors. It's all rumors. None of this is official, I guess, yet. I shouldn't say. But that the Mavs have offered him a 2-year extension that has been rumored before. And apparently it seems like Christian Wood has turned it down. He doesn't want to stay for 2 years. They can only offer him a certain amount of money for 2 years, too. It's not like a 2-year, $25 million a year deal or something like that. It's like, what? It's like 2 years, 30 or something like that. It's
like 2 for 36.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but that's the max amount that they can offer because of the CBA. So he's turned that down. He had a quote to Tim McMahon today that says, I'm just trying to get through this season with trades and stuff, and I don't want to be traded. He's like, I don't want to be traded. He wants to be here, but doesn't want to be here on a 2-year.
If he gets the max, yeah.
Doesn't want to be here on a 2-year deal, apparently. So he comes off the bench in this game. This is his first game back since January 18th from the thumb injury. And yeah, he played 18 minutes. I didn't think he played that well. Got some rebounds and so he got some assists in this game. But the Mavs, I think were great when he was out there. But now it's looked like he's going to get moved, I think, and I'm curious to see what his trade value is going to be. Coming up, let's talk about that Clippers package. What could the Clippers actually give for Christian Wood? Can the Mavs get something for Christian Wood that's actually going to help them going forward? Because they need that. I don't think they can just get rid of Christian Wood for just something. I think they'd just rather just keep him and bring him into the playoffs, in my opinion. But let's talk about that coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. You can go check out Prize Picks right now. Go to prizepicks.com. Use that promo code LOCKDOWN. You get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Oh, your favorite. LeBron versus the Oklahoma City Thunder of Oklahoma.
Did you see his interview today?
His interview today was nuts. But everyone's like, how can he call out his teammates saying that, he wished they would have been traded for somebody else? He's been doing that his whole career. Since Cleveland, he's been doing that. I was not surprised. Anyway, Prize Picks. LeBron James, more or less 32.5 points So do you think he breaks the record or not against the Thunder? He needs 36 points to do it.
No, he's gonna wait to do it against.
It could be still. You could still do more because it's only 32 and a half, so it's not the full. But we'll go.
No, he's gonna put up like 28, 30, and he's gonna wait to do it against Giannis at home.
We'll do less on LeBron James, and then you can pick. Let's do. Who else can we do? Trae Young against the Pelicans, 26 and a half. I'll go more on Trae Young there. Put down $20 on that. You can win 60. Put down 100. You can win $300. You can also do power plays and all kinds of different things if you add different sports to it. It's prizepicks.com. Use the promo code LOCKED ON. All right, Isaac Harris, let's continue to talk about some other moves the Dallas Mavericks can make. We're talking about Christian Wood. You want to talk about LeBron more?
No, I can't help to laugh about it. If you skip the ad, we talked about there was a prize picks LeBron thing, and LeBron talking about how much he was bummed that they didn't get Kyrie, and then his like 180. But now I'm focused on my teammates, and I think we have enough to win a title when we're held. Okay, well, anyway,
I'm sad my teammates didn't get shipped out. Although we can still win a title, but
I just want them to make. I just want a big trade to happen in the league during the game in which he breaks it, and then I would just laugh so hard.
KD gets traded to the Suns. Right in the middle of the game.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Let's keep going.
All right, Christian Wood could be traded to the Clippers. Is there any package you're looking at that you're like, all right, I think this, because we've heard, the Clippers are interested in Christian Wood. They're monitoring Christian Wood as well as D'Angelo Russell, according to Mark Stein. So what kind of package could we look at from the Clippers?
Well, the Clippers got a lot of wings, and this is going to be hard to talk about because I think a lot of Christian Wood stands will look at it and be like, all right, you got to get, an all-star back or something like that. And I think if they trade him, that it's going to be it might be a smaller package than what some people are thinking. I think the one, I mean, besides like, his stats and chemistry with Luka and all that stuff, I think one thing it does help him is the fact that he isn't on an expiring contract because, the fact that they could have cap room if everything goes south, to where if they did a Tim Hardaway for LeVert deal, like they're still like the ultimate plan B is like, hey, plan powder, cap room and all that stuff. But anyway, if you look at the Clippers, Covington makes 12. Luke Kennard makes 13.7. I don't think they're giving up Marcus Morris or Norman Powell in a deal for Christian Wood. So you're looking at that middle range there of Kennard, Covington, Reggie Jackson, who's not having a great season. John Wall could be in a deal like that. It's those four names. I would be really interested in a Nick Batum, but he just has such a vital role in their team. I don't see them including that. But like, is it Nick Batum and John Wall? Is it the more realistic one? I think it's like a Covington and BJ Boston, something like that. So I don't think a Covington for Christian Wood trade is, I get it, trying to get a wing, but I got to get more if I'm Dallas in that case.
So that move doesn't do it for you. Just the framework of Christian Wood for Robert Covington. The Clippers have to add another salary in that to make
if there's like a first round pick, I'm listening, something like that. But there's ways to expand it, right? Like if you put Tim in the deal, and then there's more players. It's Kennard, Covington.
Here's one I just did with the Clippers.
Yeah,
Christian Wood, your boy
JaVale McGee.
Frank.
People forget about Frank.
For Reggie Jackson, Robert Covington. You get both of them. You get a third guard and you get a wing on top of that. And you're not giving up. You're giving up Christian Wood, but you're not giving up a ton because JaVale doesn't play and Frank has now passed. He's lower in the totem on the lineup than Jaden Hardy and McKinley right now. So what do you think about that package?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a realistic type of package for sure. I mean, if the Clippers go out and get a point guard somehow, you are looking, I think Dallas could be looking at the Reggie Jackson. They just got multiple players that would fit, right? Like Covington, right. Reggie Jackson, even Luke Kennard to an extent would fit in Dallas. So they got guys. I don't think the Terrence Mann trade value stuff is wild. Like,
what is he?
Like, I don't understand. Like some of the national pods, like they're not giving up Terrence Mann for Fred VanVleet. I'm like, what? Like, what is Terrence Mann like that good? Like, I mean, I like him, but like, I don't know. Some people are treating him like he's like some A-list prospect.
Also, he's 26.
No, I don't know. And he's a good player.
No, but you know what I mean by that? Like they talk about him like he's 21 and he's still got like this whole development ahead of him. He's 26. Like, he's probably the player he's going to be. And I don't know what that type of player is. He's an irritant to Luka in the playoffs. But other than that, like,
yeah,
he has some good games here and there. But he's really been pushed down the depth chart, so it may not be his fault. But yeah, they have him on a weird like poison pill because he's making 1.9 million this year, then 10.5, then 11.5 the next 2 years. But I like this. I like this trade. I think if the Mavericks can get Reggie Jackson, Robert Covington, fills a wing need. You still don't have a center. Maybe you can flip Tim Hardaway for some kind of center and do something like that. But yeah, you still need a big, but at least you fill 2 holes. They still need one more ball handler. They still need another wing.
Would not shock me at all if Dallas is the third team in a deal that helps get the Clippers a point guard and
some kind of Russell deal.
Yeah, and it's, there's some iterations of Minnesota, Dallas, Clippers stuff to where, Clippers could get Russell and Wood and some stuff goes Dallas way, vice versa to Minnesota or whatever. But there's some other names I'm watching for Dallas too right now. Obviously the Wood Clippers thing, Stein reported on.
With the Clippers thing, would you do Luke Kennard?
Yeah, I would. I mean, if Tim moves out, I would do Kennard.
Yeah, I can't do Tim and Luke Kennard. You can't. Yeah. I can't deal with a Beasley and a Tim Hardaway together on the same team, or a Kennard and a Tim Hardaway Jr. on the same team. I couldn't.
I think Kennard's one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a bench piece, sure, but I prefer some more size on the wing. Speaking of that, 2 names I'm watching Dallas for right now. Obviously, Jay Crowder is on the market, but now I think more than before, I think Dallas should show some interest in Jay Crowder because there's a clear spot at that bigger forward spot. And I'm curious in Thibault up in Philadelphia of Dallas's. Dallas has, we've heard Dallas connected to him, in the past, but what could that look like if they try to hop into that of, hey, we lost Dorian. Basically looking around the league at some Dorian replacements, and could Thibault or Crowder be that guy?
Just straight up, you can do Thibault for JaVale McGee.
What do you have to add if you're Dallas?
I know, like, what would you have to do? Would you have to, like, they don't have any more seconds they can send, which stinks. You think that deal would be like 2 seconds and you got it, but they just sent 2 seconds in the Nets deal.
Yeah. So that's the type of stuff I'm looking at that I don't know. I don't think they can pull off another like big name. I know a lot of people's like trying to do the OG or Siakam or stuff like that. You just don't have that. You don't have enough. And I mean, yeah, Josh and Jaden Hardy could be appealing to some teams, but you have a 1st round pick. I'm still watching. I mean, every day this week we'll have new updates, new rumors, new all of that. It's the most fun week. One of the most fun weeks in the NBA season, but it's Christian Wood and Tim for Dallas. Those are the 2 guys that we're watching. Both those guys know they're being shopped. Would not shock me at all if they're both dealt before the deadline. If we had 2 separate trades or they're in the same trade. But yeah, there wasn't another team connected to Wood, was there? Was it just the Clippers?
I think it's just been the Clippers so far. I haven't heard any other names connected to him.
Yeah, so like, what if they walked out of it and they like swapped? They did a Cleveland deal and they did Clippers thing, and they're walking out of it, swapping out Tim and Christian Wood for, it's like Karis LeVert, Covington, some stuff like that. And it's like, all right, we got some more wings in here. Got rid of Tim's long-term money. We still kept the 1st, whatever it is. I mean, I could see them doing some stuff like that.
Tomorrow, we're going to go through. I have a list of the centers, like defenders and rebounders that are available. I have a list of the wing defenders and guard defenders that are available. And so we'll go through that whole list and say, all right, what about this guy? What about this guy? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the new rumors and everything like that. So continue.
Jared Vanderbilt too. Watch Jared Vanderbilt's name.
Watch his Twitter too.
I love Jared Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt liked a tweet today that said Dallas Loft Apartments. And that was like showing real estate in like Dallas Loft Apartments. So I'd be down for Jared Vanderbilt.
Yes, me too.
He's not playing for the Jazz right now, which
he's going to be traded somewhere.
He's going to be traded somewhere. But so we'll do that tomorrow. Also, I have a crossover with Adam Armbrecht from Locked On Nets to talk about what Kyrie can be, what Markieff Morris can be. And so all that. You can listen. It's going to be posted at 1 p.m. Texas time today. So go ahead and check that out. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.